Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Damaku.
Ringside Ring.
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker. This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Casper inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe, the Panther, the Bird, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states in the globe, it's the Happy Heel himself. Hey guys, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today? I have one question for you. You know the answer.
No, I'm not going to say we're not sponsored, but
Are
much
you
love.
ready?
Yes, much love. Always much love.
Yeah.
So hi, Vinny. Hi, Sam. Hi. Who's this? Hello.
Welcome. Make sure you hit the follow button when you follow
That follow button, people.
So we can see the dancing cat and we can start dancing, right?
And now you ready to get locked in the lock, Deacons?
Are you ready to feel the monster, Joe? Are you ready to feel
We're
the
gonna get sponsored by
monster?
monsters. Stop that. It's really getting a little boring.
All right. But
All
let's-
right. Go for it.
Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the owner of Hammerlock Pro Wrestling, Adam Devo.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome back, my friend. It's been some time, hasn't it?
It has.
So if
I
sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
If our international fun Americans / England and anywhere else that's listening to us or watching us, if they're not familiar with your promotion, or you introduce yourself.
All right. So Hammerlock Pure Wrestling is all about bringing back the golden age of wrestling, of pro wrestling. We basically have established ourselves as doing wrestling from circa 1985 and before. So we are very much about the athleticism, about the closer to reality based wrestling. So it's a lot more of like, catch and hook and grappling and stuff like that. We don't do top rope stuff. We don't do, the referees have legitimacy. So a referee, if you touch a referee, you get kicked out. If you are outside for beyond the count out, it's automatically kicked out. If you do an illegal move, you're disqualified. So even if our plan was for it to go a certain way, match is over. It won't matter. So we go back to very much the old school ways.
Yeah. So you guys are kind of like pretty much like MMA UFC type of style where there's a lot of like straight up pure wrestling in it. Like there's no closed fist and stuff like that. It's just pure wrestling basically.
Exactly. So again, it's a lot of catch and hook. You get a lot, like our guys don't give each other space. So when they're in a brawl type situation in the ring, they stay close. They join in combat. They don't like give each other space. There's no like you kick the guy in the gut and he bends over and waits 30 seconds while you get yourself adjusted and onto the showboat a little bit and then jump onto him. It's you kick him in the gut, you do your next move. You don't, you sell it, of course, but you're going more for the reality based.
So what would you say like the biggest difference between pro wrestling and like, mixed martial arts like that style is?
So the biggest difference between us and mixed martial arts is the fact that our guys are doing moves that if they did them legitimately, yes, you could hurt somebody, but they're not going out to hurt them. We're going out to entertain. Yeah, exactly. It's really back to the entertainment style of things, where, if the move is done wrong, the other person will feel it and will hurt. But I have faith in my talent that they will not hurt whoever's in the ring with them.
Like, so who would you say that, like, if our fans don't know, like, who's on your roster, if you want to tell everybody?
So our roster consists, my main guy right now. Well, I've got a main crew that I work with, a main group of talent. So Tyson Dukes, some people may know who he is. He's traveled the world over and over again for wrestling. So he's basically our top guy. He's wrestled for WWE. He's wrestled for New Japan. Like, he's wrestled everywhere. He's even coached some very high level wrestling. And he used to train here in London, which he has pulled back. He is training out of Hard Knocks right now in Listowel. But he is slowing down a bit. But what we have done is we've created Hammerlock Pure Wrestling based off of the people he's trained. So there's Tyson Dukes, Rodney Matthews, huge up and comer. That he is an amazing athlete. I'm really looking forward to seeing where he goes with wrestling. We got, when he is in a tag team, he's in with Michael Grayson. We've got Miley. We've got Becky Nix. I've got Jesse Loon, Brian White, who, funny enough about Brian White, he's actually a city councilor in a neighboring city. So it's pretty awesome when you get to see him go in the ring, because with us, he's definitely a bad guy. He's definitely a heel. So he gets to not have to be a nice person. So he gets to live out the thing that probably most people would love to do when they're a politician, and just rip people apart. Yeah, and then we've got like Cece Galaviz. We've got Cece Moss is now part of our roster, so she'll be on our shows quite a bit. I've got Mick Brickhouse McGuire. I've got a couple up and comers that are going to be fantastic. One is Vikram. He goes by the Punjabi Prodigy.
I think I've heard of him. I think we messaged him.
He's
gotta get back to him on a date.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's a super smart kid. He's been wanting this dream forever. We've got oh man, I know I'm forgetting some. But yeah, so we've got, actually, you know what? I could just pull up my roster right here. So Chili Brown and Bryce Hanson, those are two guys that are, again, amazing up and comers. Bryce Hanson, he's just an 18-year-old kid, and the way he wrestles, you would think he's been wrestling for years. Same with Chili Brown, phenomenal. Like the guy he can fly. He's absolutely phenomenal in the ring. Ethan Dukes, who's Tyson's son, again, that he has a real grasp on the old school old school mentality. So he's phenomenal in the ring. He's a beast. I've got Brett Perry, Dale Kilburn, and one guy who wrestles for us every once in a while is John Atlas. Again, he's just an amazing athlete. John Atlas, you guys should look him up. He's got a story and a half. He actually at one point had double lung cancer.
Wow.
And he came back. He just persevered and pushed hard, and he has an incredible story.
Yeah, I'm a cancer survivor as well, so I could relate right there. Maybe not lung cancer, but I had appendix, so you know.
Yeah. He ended up having to get double surgery on his lungs.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he, again, amazing story. If you Google him, you'll easily find his story out there. But he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. One of our fans actually said something really cool about Hammerlock.
All the guys and girls are so down to earth as well. So, John Siegfried.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'd have to say. A lot of our talent, especially when I bring talent that might be from outside the roster in, they've all said that they absolutely love the atmosphere. We're very much a family. Like I treat it as a family. I treat my wrestler, my talent, and my crew like their family, because without them, we wouldn't have a show.
Exactly.
So like I make sure they get fed at every show. So like at the Portuguese club in Strathroy, when we're there, we actually all sit down together. We set up tables with all the chairs for everybody, and talent and crew sit down before the show, and we all have a big meal.
Yeah, that's really good to hear, because a lot of promoters out there, like today, it's like, oh yeah, it's like you did well, kid. I'll give you like $20, or I'll give you a hot dog or something.
No,
like that.
you're saying it wrong, geek. They get 2 hot dogs and a soda.
2 hot dogs and a soda, that type of deal.
Yeah, you did great, but this is what you get. Here's your payment. Hot dogs. Yeah. Grab a soda from the cooler.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's I truly believe like all my guys and girls get paid before, like as they come in to the venue, I'm giving them their money for the night. So because I want to make sure that they know that, they're not going to, they don't need to chase me, right? Like it's, they're there to do a job. So I don't want them feeling that they have to chase me. And I find with us, our talent doesn't leave early. Like our talent, like the entire roster will stay right till the end. So I feel it's a pretty special place.
I believe
like a very special place. Go on, Geeko.
I was just about to say, I believe you were the one that told us that, like, you did basically like very old school, where you don't have the heels out for. I remember you saying that at the last podcast, and that is so awesome. You want to try to keep the kayfabe alive, but at the same time, you were telling us, but we make sure that the heels get compensated as well, which is awesome.
Yes,
which is absolutely awesome.
So with us, we don't allow the wrestlers to come out to sell their merch at intermission. They're allowed to bring someone that will sell it for them. If they don't have someone, they just have to reach out to me, a couple days before the show, and I'll make sure someone is there to sell it for them. And I will usually allow one person to come out, usually if it's someone from out of town or something like that. But they also have to be a face. So we have to have, like, it's got to be a good guy that comes out. And that's it. Only the one person. A lot of people who are within the industry that have helped out on my shows have all said that they're impressed at the fact that we stick to our timelines. So our intermissions are 15 minutes. once that 15 minute, like we announce when we're getting close, and once that 15 minutes is up, the show must go on. And people love it. Families love it. Like our big focus is being family friendly. And a lot of people absolutely love that, because our show, doors open, almost every show, doors open at 6, first bell's at 7. We're done by 9 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So pretty much every show has five matches. We usually do men's single, usually a men's tag team, intermission, women's single, and then the main event. And then main event is usually 2 out of 3 falls. Again, just old school ways of doing the main event. Lately, on our last show, we had a women's tag team. And now we're going to run with a women's tag team for a little bit, because it did get a lot of attention, and people absolutely loved it, and they were phenomenal. So we want to give a shot to the women's tag teams to go for a little bit. We actually put Miley and Cece Galavie together. And then we put Becky Nix and Cece Moss together.
I would have threw everybody curveball, have double CC on the same team.
Well, I thought of that, but unfortunately, it's all based on their characters, so we had to go a different way. But with Becky and Cece Moss, it actually worked out really well. So that they go by the name of Dark and Deadly.
Okay.
So they're absolutely phenomenal together, and we're really looking forward to growing that both girls tag team into the future.
Yeah. We've had Cece on the podcast. She was cool. She was funny.
Cece Galavie.
Yeah.
She's absolutely awesome. I really like her. So she did great on the show, on the last show, and so we're really looking forward to growing that relationship with her as well.
So go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Oh, you were gonna say something. I was like,
no, I was just about to ask you what's like your pre-match, like pre-show, like ritual, like what do you like to do before like a show, like to get you ready, pumped for that show?
So I'm very different, just because even growing up playing sports, I'm very, and like being a goalie in hockey, you would think with the pressure, I tend to just stay focused on what's at hand. So, the night before, I try and go through all of our merch, make sure that everything's in place, go through all the steps, make sure that we have tills, we have, everything for the wrestlers ready. Everything is, there's no hiccups. And then the next day I try and get to the venue before, the ring and before everybody else. And I stay focused on having everything get set up, making sure that everything is running smooth. And I basically enjoy the time and the moment of watching everything come together. So that for me, that's what I love the most, is just seeing it go from, an empty hall to, okay, chairs are up, the merch tables are out. Okay, now all of a sudden the ring's coming in, the ring's being built. So I just really enjoy that whole aspect. And then I'm constantly, because, I have control of so much, I'm constantly on my phone the day of, because like I'll get people buying tickets online right up until the time of the event. So I'm constantly on the phone, making sure that we're covering everyone's tickets for when they get to the door. And I just basically make sure everything's running smooth. I make sure all the talent is happy, that the crew is happy. So basically, I'm there just to make sure everyone's smiling and enjoying themselves.
Gotcha.
That sounds like a great thing. Like that's to me to geek. I don't know about geek, but me, that sounds awesome because it's hard to please everybody, but just to know that you're gonna please people you don't know,
Yeah.
that's good to me. That's good. That makes me feel really welcome. If I was ever in Canada, I know where to turn to. I know Hammerlock Wrestling would be the one place I'd jump and try to find a ticket for. I gotta go to one of these shows because
Well,
we don't know you, but know you through this. So it's
yeah,
like,
absolutely. You guys would be more than welcome up here. It's one of those things. Over top of everything, for me, I am not involved in the show in any capacity. So I don't do ring announcing. I don't do spots of, oh, here comes the GM, or, I am completely outside of the show.
Gotcha.
So just for the simple fact that it's not about me. It's about the talent. It's about the ones that are in the ring. So I really try to stick to, let that be their moment. And in all reality, at the end of the day, as long as the talent is happy, they're happy with their pay. They're happy that, hey, I'm feeding them. I'm taking care of them. I'm making sure that they've got water. I'm making sure that, if there is an issue, that it's taken care of. At the end of the day, they're going to want to keep coming back, and they're going to want to go a step above for me when they get in the ring. Like at our last show, no one asked for it. No one, I would never ask my talent to do anything that could hurt more than what already hurts when they're in the ring. And two of our top talent, so Rodney Matthews and Ethan Dukes, had basically a 20-minute brawl. And at one point they did a suplex on the outside of the ring on the hardwood floor. And I didn't even know that was going to happen. A lot of people had no idea. Like, they had talked about it between themselves and a couple of the other talent, but nothing was like, oh yeah, we're going to do it. And I didn't even know, they had the conversation. And I'm standing there watching their match, and I see them get outside the ring, and I'm like, okay, well, we try not to do too much outside the ring. And then all of a sudden I saw the suplex, and I was like, oh my God. And the crowd exploded. Right. And it was a great move to be done at the time that it was done. And it got a huge pop. I laugh because, yes, it's a suplex on a hardwood floor, but at the end of the day, it's a suplex. And because of the timing of it and how what led up to it, it really got a huge pop. They didn't have to, go on the top rope and do a suplex off the ropes. They didn't have to do any of that. Like, it was a straight up suplex, and it got everyone, including the talent and crew, just exploding. It was absolutely fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, it's one thing that if the fans all sometimes people get there too early and people are watching the talent talk, but one thing that you didn't even know the spot.
Yeah.
And they did it, and it made you go, whoa, and then the crowd blew up.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the other thing too. So when our doors open, like I said, they open at 6, at 7 is the first bell. When our doors open, all talent has to be in the back. Okay. So nobody comes in if there's talent that are hanging out in the ring or discussing anything. There's no, I don't do VIP. I don't do a pre-show. I don't do any of that. It's doors open at 6. Get yourself a good spot, because I don't do VIP. So first come, first serve for the front row. and so they come in. There's nobody there. There's the crew around, and that's it.
That's good to know, because I went to a show around the day after my birthday in April, and got there early, and I didn't think they were gonna let me in because there was still talent doing like spots in the ring. And I get in there, and they're like, "We can't tell you who so and so is fighting," and we're like, "Okay." And I see them wrestling around the ring. I didn't recognize the girl until I walked over to the table, and there's a girl that was a surprise match. I'm just like, "Damn it!" Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I knew who she was, and I was like, "Damn it!"
Well, and that's the other thing, that I don't promote my card. Again, the odd time if I'm pulling someone in, I will say that they're on the card, but I don't say, hey, these are our matches, so no one knows exactly what the matches are, and a lot of times they don't even know who wrestlers are on the card.
Wow.
So what I try and do, again, the talent, in order for the talent to go anywhere, for the talent to go to, AEW, WWE, Impact, any of these guys, those big companies want to see that they have a following. Yes, you have to be good, but they also want to see that you have a following. So for me, and this is going to be part of my, we're launching our website, should be this week. I'm going to have a roster page. So it's going to have the roster, little things, stats about them, and then their social media accounts. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is I want to push the fans to follow the talent, because it's easy enough for them just to follow all the promotions and be like, oh, okay, he's wrestling there. Yay. He's wrestling here. She's wrestling there. But I want to push them to follow the talent. And so that way the talent will say like, hey, we're going to be on that. I'm on that card, so if you know my roster, you follow the roster, you're going to find out who is on my card. But I don't actively put it out there, because again, the more popular they get, the more following that each talent gets, the better they're going to look in the eyes of the almighty promotions, the ones that everyone seems to want to work for.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a smart idea though, because now you're absolutely like, I like that what you're doing with it, because now people can follow the talent and say, I wonder where this person's going to be next. I wonder where this person's going to be next. And then they're actually following them on Instagram or Twitter. That's absolutely smart. And then they could say like, oh, they could be back at Hammerlock.
Yeah. And then over top of that, like if the talent is releasing a new shirt, if they're releasing new merch, they could release it and their following is going to see it. So there's more, so if you really like I try and tell people all the time, like if you like a talent, get one of their shirts, if they have buttons or badges, or, if you can't afford a shirt, a lot of these guys have, cheaper merch as well, where, it's at $2, $5, and any little bit helps them to be able to build their fund so they can afford, because they put a lot of time and money into becoming these athletes, these wrestlers, and I really want people to see how important it is to help them out, to grow.
And I actually absolutely like that too, because I've noticed a lot of, I'm not going to say names, but I noticed a lot of wrestling promotions don't like to add their talents, their Instagram page or social medias, and I'm like, how is anyone gonna? Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Geek, you're right. Like, whenever we go on other promotions' Instagram pages just to see what they're all about, I click the picture, and I'm like, okay, I just liked it. I wasn't trying to like it. I was just trying to see if any of the roster had an Instagram tag. I think maybe they don't do that because I know when you tag somebody directly on a post, it goes right to them like a message.
Yes.
And if you tag them the other way, just in the caption, it doesn't go up in their DMs. It goes just as you're tagging them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, actually, it's funny because I use a certain program to put out my post on both Instagram and Facebook. So that way I'm not having to repeat everything over and over again and take twice as much time. I just noticed yesterday that even though I'm using the proper tags within that program, it's not always tagging everybody. So last night I started trying to go through and over the course of the next little bit, I'm going to go and make sure that all my wrestlers are tagged in any pictures or videos that I'm posting, because I want people to go to them. I don't want people to just be like, oh, just, like, if they're already following me, it doesn't hurt that they follow my talent as well.
Yeah. That's totally right. Like, there's a lot of wrestlers we know that are like, they're really good. And like, I feel bad sometimes, as Geek said, you go on the Instagram page for that promotion and tumbleweed, nobody's tagged in the post.
Exactly. And then the other thing that I'm looking at doing as well is on our website, my talent, my roster will be able to sell their shirts off of our website.
Wow.
That's awesome. So
that's cool. Because like, do you sell the Hammerlock t-shirts at the actual shows?
Yes, we do. So we have our own merch that we sell at our shows. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing for the talent. So there's a couple things that I'm doing a little bit different than some. We're going to have a debit and credit machine. So because we're going to have that, let's say, Rodney Matthews runs out of a certain size shirt. He'll be able to send them over to the Hammerlock table, and we'll be able to process an order for them. And that way they can order it, pay for it, and we'll have it shipped out to them.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Because I'm not going to say names, but me and Geek, we went to a show last year together. And I live in Pennsylvania now. We haven't been to this show for a few years. We finally got a chance to go back. And I was looking to get a t-shirt because, as I said, I live in Pennsylvania. I don't live in New York anymore. I wanted to buy a shirt. Not even a table for the promotion. They just had wrestler tables, like two or three tables for the wrestlers. That's it. And at the other show we went to that night, I'm like, what happened, Geek?
And they go prowrestlingtees.com.
Yeah. Like, it's sad. Like, our era of going to an independent show, and if you're from out of town and want to see the ticket and want to buy a ticket and want to buy a shirt and wear it in your town, it's gone. That era is gone.
So for me, that's what I try and push is, hey, you're buying a ticket, you're coming to a Hammerlock show. Why not get Hammerlock merch at the same time? That way you could promote the show. If you don't know who you want to support at the show, buy Hammerlock. And then when you get to the show and you have a feel for the talent, then you could buy one of theirs. And then you're supporting the promotion who's bringing in the talent, and then you're also supporting the talent. I'm not saying you have to do it that way, but why not, support one or the other? If it's available to you, hey, it's a win-win for everybody all the way around.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I'm doing too is we're creating gift cards or gift certificates that I'm hoping to have for our next show. And if people buy them, they can be redeemed only at the show, but they could be redeemed either for tickets, for Hammerlock clothing, or if they want to get something from the talent, they can give it to the talent, and at the end of the night, the talent hands us the gift certificate, and we'll pay them whatever the value of that gift certificate is.
That's
wow,
awesome.
That's amazing.
You guys really got a lot going on right now because like that's awesome because right, Geek, we don't really hear that.
You don't hear too much about that stuff. That's like cutting edge stuff from promoters right there. It's like you guys are one step ahead of the game right there.
Yeah.
And that's what, in a sense, so we've had a lot of naysayers, but at the same time, the way I see it is, I want to grow the talent. Like, every promotion should be looking at growing the talent, at making the talent feel like they're cared about, that they're, that you want them there, that you're not just there to give them money and they're there to just sacrifice themselves for whatever you want. And then, the deal's done. Like, let's grow these relationships and really help these individuals who really are putting their bodies on the line week after week for people's entertainment.
Yeah, totally.
I know this is a kind of an oddball question, but have you seen any movies recently?
Ooh, no.
Nothing yet, right?
No. What unfortunately I've been so busy. The weird thing that me and Becky have been on right now is this Fear Factor kick. So like all these episodes are on Prime. So we've been watching like since like season 1 of
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, of Fear Factor. So
gosh, you're going back to the original ones, like when they showed it.
Like,
was it CBS? Which channel was it on originally?
NBC, I think.
Yeah, NBC. Okay, I'm thinking CBS. I don't know why I think CBS.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
And like I think the first episodes were like 2004 or something like that. So it's
oh my god, 2004.
Yeah.
Just leaving college, Joe.
Yeah, like I laughed because like we were watching one and they're like, "Oh, you get to win this brand new 2005," and I was like, "Oh man, like that's 17 years ago."
That's crazy.
No, that's awesome. I remember like the memes about Joe Rogan. He's like, "I used to know Joe Rogan when he used to eat bugs." Okay, let's walk, Grandma. It's like let's walk.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I just watched the episode last night where Joe Rogan gets into a fight with a contestant.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta watch. So it's on Prime. All these Fear Factor episodes.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch it. Joe, one day we gotta do a whole Fear Factor episode of Popcorny.
But do we have to watch it from like stage 1, or do we have to like watch it all day long? So you work. How am I supposed to watch a show with you, Gabe?
We have to watch them. We have to watch all the episodes and just review.
There is a lot of them. There's hours upon hours. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely great. I love it.
That's just a new podcast right now. It's like Joe and Geek review Fear Factor.
And like some of the stunts, like you're like, oh, those are okay stunts, and the next thing you know, they're doing a stunt where you're like, oh man, I would not be okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do get pretty extreme at times, and it's funny because he jokes about how they're not back then. They weren't allowed to show. I don't know if they can now, most likely, but they were not allowed to show puking on TV.
Wait, they would bleep it out. I think they would bleep it out, or they would cut the camera to like the logo or whatever.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. So it's so funny how it used to be.
All right. So what's the grossest thing you think you saw on Fear Factor?
The grossest thing.
Yeah, you say.
Oh man, there's a lot there. Like the amount of things that people have to eat on that show. Like there was one they had to eat, like rotten fish, and like there's just all like if you sit there and you watch it and you're like, no, like their biggest thing is like the Madagascar hissing cockroaches, which at this point I'm numb to those. I'm like, oh, that's just a regular snack on that show. It's like eating a chip. But like there's other times where you're looking at it going, man, like how are people like blended up, earthworms, super worms, and like scorpions, and you're like, how are you drinking that? But yeah, and then like lately on some of the shows they were making people eat banana worms or something like that, banana slugs.
Banana slugs?
Yeah, they're like this big, they're yellow, they're really gross looking, and they explode.
Yum, yum. I'll eat it.
I was watching Jackass 4.5 and they were at the beach.
Yes.
I think you know where I'm going with this one.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville, and then Johnny Knoxville said, "Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass." And then they had the scorpion. It's like pinching at Steve-O's lip, and it's like, get it off me. Get it off me. It's just pinching at it, and I was like, I was dying watching that.
Yeah,
Steve-O, man, the stuff he does for our entertainment,
and the fact that he's doing that stuff sober now is absolutely insane.
He goes back to his hotel room going, I need a drink, but I don't drink. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you think you've seen Steve-O do, Joe?
Oh, God. There's too much things. We don't have enough time. Do we have enough time? No, we don't have enough time. There's too much.
Yeah. Now, when he went in the porta potty and then they turned.
Oh God!
Oh gosh! They showed that like last month or month before that, guys, on MTV. They were showing it, and I'm just like, these guys really put themselves through some shit, man. Literally, but
yeah. Do you remember when they had the Wild Boys TV show?
I remember Wild Boys.
Yeah. When I think there was one where they had the stakes like hanging out of their underwear, and they were trying to go across a wire over a crocodile infested pond. I was like, man, you guys are just insanity. And then there was when they dressed up like a zebra in the Sahara Desert. Yeah. And they had the lions and whatnot.
Oh gosh.
Try to take them down. Some of the things that those guys have done is just, you can't feel safe. I would not ever feel safe. Like if I was ever in a spot and I saw that cast standing around me, I'd be like, all right, I'm not safe. I'm going to head over here because something's going to happen.
As they would say in the hood, shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
There was another stunt they did in Jackass 4.5. I think you know where I'm going with this one. They took a funnel. And
yes, the hot sauce.
Yes,
yeah,
the hot sauce up there.
Geek doesn't like hot sauce. I do it. I do it. I'm like, all right.
But it's not in the mouth. It's not in the mouth.
Oh, ying ying. Oh, ying ying.
Yeah, you're taking a funnel and you're
Woo.
Yeah, they did some stuff, man. But
take that back. I punch them in the arm and walk away. Fuck you, and just walk away.
No, they definitely go and put their bodies 100% on the line for entertainment.
Just like your wrestlers,
Yeah, absolutely. They just with less obvious guarantees of ill will against the body, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, we know Johnny Knoxville likes wrestling because he was doing pretty good at WrestleMania. But did you see that match by chance?
I saw clips of it, but yeah, no, he did pretty good. If I heard correctly, he's wrestling regularly right now, but I don't know how true that is. It'd be interesting. Yeah. it'd be interesting to know if he actually is, but because like Johnny's getting up there.
Was he like
I think-
40, 50, or like maybe 30, 40?
Yeah, I think he's in his 50s.
Yeah, because that
Close.
hair, I'm like, dude, I saw a picture. I'm like, he's got solid white hair now. He's like,
Yeah.
he can't even
Oh, yeah.
hide it anymore.
One match I want to see next. Joe's gonna hate me on this one.
I hate you for everything.
Johnny Knoxville versus Nick Gage. Book it now. Johnny is gonna be like, "Come on, let's go," and then Nick would take like the light tubes out and everything, and it's like, "Come on, do another one." Because Johnny's crazy, you know. Johnny's done some crazy stuff. So
I think his crew would abandon him as soon as they start trying to take out the real stuff. They're like,
he's like, "You're taking out light tubes,"
and they all run. They would run.
Yeah.
Like, no, no.
Yeah.
And I just want to dance. That's it. One of the other Preston
Like-
says, I just want to dance. That's it.
I want to dance. No. He runs out of the ring and just takes off. I remember that when they introduced the dance boy when I was at college, I'm like, what am I watching?
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah. They did quite a few different little things that made you scratch your head.
Yeah. MTV is just like, don't get arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't sue us when people watch.
You know, it's funny to think with MTV they went from music to TV shows to like just random. I don't even know. Like I catch myself watching it in the morning and there's videos on.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell did you lose all this? MTV AM, and then you go till like 11 o'clock, you go back to ridiculousness. Not like that's a bad thing. I love watching ridiculousness.
But I get what you're saying. It's like it's not about the music anymore. It's just about the television.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's just like up here, we had Much Music, which was the MTV equivalent, and man, like it went downhill so fast. Like it, like it was music videos, and then all of a sudden, like as soon as like one or two TV shows squeaked in, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, no more music videos. Let's just put on every cartoon or like adult type cartoon on it. Let's do this, and it just completely went away from what its original intent was.
I remember Much Music even had a studio right across from Madison Square Garden. It did. I remember they had their studio. What's that?
That was Fuse.
No, that was Much Music. It was Much.
Oh, Much Music. Yeah, right.
I remember. And after they left, the studio was there for like a few years, and then now they're owned by Madison Square Garden. It's the MSG network. They moved.
Okay.
My sister's like, "How do you remember all this stuff?" ADD.
Yeah, my mind for remembering a lot of that stuff is just not there. Like a lot of people ask me about certain things, and I'm like, I wish I could tell you. But yeah, no. Becky is the same way as you. Like you could name something like, oh, what happened on this day, and she'll rhyme it off, and you're like, how do you remember that?
Yeah, that's like Armand. Armand like remembers like so much stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck?
She's like, I remember this, and then we're like,
how the fuck do you remember that?
God damn it! You're making fun of me. She's like here we go. She's our Horton. She remembers everything.
She remembers everything, so don't do anything bad when you're around her because she'll remember it 10 years later.
Remember when you said that about me, Joe? We're like, yeah. I do, and I don't care because I'm a heel.
I'm waiting for her to.
I don't care. I'm drunk.
I'm waiting for her to pop up in the comments and start telling you guys off.
Oh, she will. She will.
She's ever so spiffy. That's her.
She's in the chat, so.
And also, she talks to like she'll remember that, but then nowadays you say I was drunk. Oh yeah. Oh, now I was drunk. Yeah. I'll remember that too.
Yeah, she's just waiting for a cue right now. There you go.
She's gonna come flying down the stairs. How dare you? I'm innocent.
Back to some of the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I took an oddball question right there, and
no, absolutely. So actually, I will tell you one thing. I am looking forward to seeing how Rob Zombie did with the Monsters movie.
definitely.
It looks good. Did you
So
see the trailer yet?
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing. And then from there, the next thing, I really hope he gets to the hockey movie he's supposed to be doing.
Really?
Yeah, he's supposed to be doing a movie on the Broad Street Bullies from Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
So he's a huge Philadelphia Flyers fan. So it'd be I'd love to see how the movie turns out, just because it's so not what he does, right?
He does scary stuff. He doesn't really do like sports.
Yeah. I love all his movies. Like I've got some of his characters on this arm.
Yeah.
So there's good old
I got a
Captain
chance to go to
Swallow.
that house at Universal Studios.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude. It was so cool to be in a house of 1,000 corpses.
Yeah. It's a dream of both Becky and I's. We'd love to go to that house.
You have to go to Halloween Horror Night. If you ever get a chance to go, just go. Don't even worry about going to any wrestling event. Just go 2 days. That's you have to do. You have to go 2 days so you can go to every house.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But the movie can be bad. But the thing is, though, I had trust in Rob Zombie because when he said in the interviews when he was a kid, his favorite show was The Munsters.
Yeah.
And what a tribute it would be for him to pay homage to the show. So
absolutely. And that's why, like, you look at a lot of his music videos, right? A lot of them are based on those really old school movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves the old school horror. So I think he's gonna do really, really well. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's going to be on Peacock, which I'm gonna.
Oh, it is going to be on Peacock, not NBC.
Yeah. Which
I thought it was Netflix.
Last I saw it was going to be on Peacock.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn I saw either Netflix or Peacock, one of the others. You know.
I would prefer it to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know if that relationship is severed at all, because like all his movies, like the House of 1,000 Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell are on Prime now, or either for free or for rent. So I don't know if something happened there, but I'm just looking forward to seeing it. It'll be very, very interesting to see how close he gets to the replicating the show.
Yeah.
Is it going to be based now, or is it going to be based back in the days?
We don't know.
From the looks of it, it's going to be based like back in the same era as the Munsters.
Okay. They're
So-
not going to have him come back from the dead now.
No. From my understanding. So I'm interested in seeing, does he keep it black and white, or is it going to be full color?
I think he did say color in the trailer. I saw it in color.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll make it completely different as well, right? Like,
yeah,
it'll be way different just for some fact that the show was black and white for I think its entirety. If I remember correctly.
I think all the way through was black and white. I think
Yeah.
you have to research that.
I could have sworn they brought like some of it was actually in color. Some of it.
Yeah, because on Nick at Night they would show older episodes for the Monsters, and who were in color, because that's when the daughter came in. The girl, the blonde.
Oh, okay.
Marilyn, right?
Marilyn came in and her hair was blonde and she was wearing a
Yeah.
pink dress.
Yeah.
And the
So-
mom was goofing on her. Like, what's this pink? And she would get so mad.
Yeah. And then the other movie that I'm really looking forward to is if it actually gets done is Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah. I
So
heard that there's more news about it that came out recently.
Johnny
I think my
Depp
sister said.
Johnny Depp is supposed to be in it.
Yeah, and then Michael Keaton's going to be in it, Winona Ryder, and it's actually, from what I read, it's being done by Brad Pitt's production company.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Is
heard
it
that
in
too.
or in and out, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it's those are a couple things a couple movies I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we thank you so much for coming on the podcast. By
Yeah.
the way, Adam.
Yeah,
Maybe
not-
in the future you come back.
We're so happy we got you back because we had fun with you before.
The last conversation was awesome.
So
yeah, no, I enjoy it. I don't mind it at all. And if it gives you guys exposure, it gives me exposure. That's all that matters. Oh,
Yeah.
also, we will be getting our YouTube channel up where I'll be putting our matches out. So at first there'll be individual matches, and then we're looking at doing play-by-play voiceover on like the whole match, so that way we can start putting stuff out and people could start seeing what we're all about and what how our talent does and how they progress.
Yeah, I was trying to find the YouTube and I couldn't find it. I'm like,
we just don't have, like, I want to put out a bunch of matches out in spurts, but I just want to make sure that I have a bunch in the wings before, because right now I only have one show or one or two shows that I've got the full video. I'm waiting on two more shows that I should have hopefully by tomorrow, and then we got to cut them up, and then start putting out the matches.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we've got two shows coming up in July as well. So one, and they're back-to-back weeks. So Saturday, July 9th is going to be in Stratford, Ontario, at Job Site Brewing. They're also the ones that are putting on the event. So they're basically the main and only sponsor. So they're bringing us in so they can bring some wrestling to Stratford. So they're great guys. We're actually doing it right in the brewery, so it should be a lot of fun. We do have a wrestler making his debut at that one. And then July 16th, so the next Saturday after that, we're going to be in Strathroy again, which we had our biggest event there at our last show there. Crowd was, we had just over 200 people, and they were allowed from the time the bell rang till the end of the show. Like it was just nonstop. It was absolutely fantastic. And that one there, our main sponsor is she's sponsoring the event, is Nancy Powers Photography. She absolutely loves us, and there's a hometown boy from Strathroy that's going to be in the main event there. So she really wanted to step up for him and help put a great show. So it's actually going to be our biggest show, because that one there. So this is the one thing that I'll let leak out about that show, is we are going to actually have a men's tag team and then a women's tag team. Normally we just do one or the other. But for that show, we're actually going to have both a men's tag team and a women's tag team. So it's going to be a very, very good show. The women's tag team is going to be the one side is going to be out for vengeance after a tough loss. But so it's going to be absolutely great.
Awesome.
That's awesome. We look forward to all the great stuff you guys are putting on. Always being one step ahead of the game.
And if you want to send us a poster on Instagram, don't be afraid. We know we love you guys, so we'll promote your show.
All right, I'll send them both, and then apart from that, like we've got a show in August. I'm gonna have 2 shows in October.
Oh wow!
And then we've got a show. Our last show will be in November, and I am working on putting a show on in September as well. So we'll finish off the year pretty strong, and I'm already working on next year's stuff. So I'm already booking dates and trying to keep everyone busy. And but yeah, so we are doing a big Halloween show on. It's going to be a Sunday afternoon. It's going to be on Devil's Night, October 30th. So it's going to be that one's going to be a bit different than the usual. So we're really looking forward to putting on that show, just because Becky Nix is going to be a big piece of it, because she is a witch. So she's going to be in control for a good portion. And then we're looking at doing special things for the kids, the costume contest for the kids and stuff like that. And just really make it fun for them. And at the same time, we're going to give out, I'm looking at giving out treat bags for the kids. So that way they, the kids that show up to our show will technically get to trick or treat before all the other kids that are only trick or treating on the 31st.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
you have social medias also, or
so right now we're on Facebook and Instagram, Hammerlock Pure Wrestling for both of them. The website that is coming out is going to be basically hammerlockpurewrestling.com. So that way you could go to that, stay up to date on where we're going to be. You could check out the roster there. You'll be able to check out our sponsors, check out our merch. You'll be able to buy our merch right off of the website, as well as hopefully the majority, if not all, of our roster as well. So that way you could support. And then apart from that, one, I guess, big piece of news is we are actually got a brand new ring coming in. So we've put an order for a brand new ring. So it's gonna be nice for the wrestlers to have a little piece of updated equipment to bounce around on. And we're really gearing up our branding as well. So I'm really looking forward to just setting up the shows so that you will not hesitate to know who's putting on the show.
That's always good.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, not a problem. I see that Ever So Spiffy is asking about pets. I do have pets, but the two puppies, one's a year old and one's 8 months or 9 months old. They get quite rambunctious. We actually had to block them off because normally they would end up on the futon behind me, and they play hard, and it would be very distracting.
All kinds of puppy barking and screaming and
oh yeah, and it looks way more vicious than it is. And then we also have 3 cats upstairs. They stay up. Well, they do come down, but they tend to stay upstairs just to be away from the dogs. Not that the dogs do anything, but the cats just don't want anything to do with the dogs. And then we've got gerbils and then fish. So
zoo.
pretty much. So if the puppies were a little bit more relaxed, I would definitely maybe the next time I come on, I'll bring one on at a time.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh.
All right.
So now she's asking what kind of dog. So
she already said.
I'll answer that. I'm here to please, right? So the one dog is a border collie mixed with Australian Shepherd. So extremely intelligent, extremely hyper because he has way more energy than anything else. And then his name is Zool. Yeah, from Ghostbusters. Then we've got Otis, who is named after Otis B. Driftwood from House of a Thousand Corpses. He's a mix of a German Shepherd and Mastiff. And then the cats are there's Beelzebub, but we just call him Beezel. Then there's Pandora and Mania. So we tend to stick to demon names and
There is no kitty, only Zool.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right. I'm Joe Panther the Third.
I'm the Metal Geek.
I'm Adam Davio.
And we will catch you in the next one.